Hello everybody, this is Iced Blood. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIII. We had a decently long video last time. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Again, if anybody wants to know whether you enjoy the shorter or longer episodes, let me know. We're in Chapter 2 officially now. I'm not sure if we hit that last video or if it was something that... if it was the video before that. I'm not entirely certain, actually. But we're getting into some bigger details about the story. Once again, we're being treated to a synopsis so far. Go ahead and pause the video here if you want to take a look. But we're getting to see some of the deeper elements of what's going on here, here in the introduction. And as each scene unfolds, we get to see a bit more of those details. And I really like how that's done here, because it's a nice, how to phrase this, it's a natural way to present the story. It's not, the game is not, what's the phrase, what's the word that I'm trying to struggle for here? It's not expository. It's not just throwing the plot at us and saying, this is what happened in the age before this one, and this is the stage that you're on, and this is what you're doing. It's more subtle than that. Now, granted, a lot of this stuff has kind of been in your face. There's been a lot of explosions and stuff like that, so it's not exactly subtle by nature, but there is some amount of finesse to the way that the story is being presented to us. In particular, if you look at things from a character-based perspective, which I do, every story for me is about the people involved, not so much the overarching plot. So I look at a game like this with an ensemble of characters. I need to check something here real quick. Hold on. There we go. In a game like this, when on an ensemble cast, I'm interested primarily in each character's arc. What's going on with each of these folks, and how do they intermingle, and how does it end up to a conclusion for everybody involved. So there's a lot here to digest, and I really appreciate the way that it's presented. For example... Well, okay, this isn't a good example of this part, because honestly I feel like the reason I like this is because I'm a big fan of zombies, and these kind of look zombie-ish to me. They're, at the very least, they present the same sort of threat, because I'm guessing it'd be difficult to reason with things like that.
What are they?
Oh, there you go. Okay, so we have a little bit of a... Vanille knows some stuff about this. Interesting. And there's the man himself.
Let's even these odds.
Excellent. So now we have a full adventuring party of 3 members. Something that I noticed in the first couple of fights in this section, and whenever we fight with Vanille, notice that Snow here, because we're in control of Snow again, only has 2 attacks that he can put into a single turn. He can only attack twice. Or if he uses his ability, he can only do it once. There's only 2... What do you want to call them? 2... I don't know how to phrase this. I'm at a loss for words right now. Basically, there's only room for 2 units per turn, right? Vanille, though, had 3. And she obviously knows a lot about this whole situation, so...
You gotta leave.
She doesn't showcase her experience very well.
Find some place to hide and keep quiet. Once I find Sarah, we'll all leave together. You'll be home in time for dinner. You...
Wait! Who's Sarah?
My wife. Future wife, that is. She's a fal'Cie.
Uh-oh.
She's here somewhere, along with that fal'Cie. I gotta find her and set her free.
What's wrong with you? Why do you want to help fal'Cie? They're the enemy.
Huh.
How can you save fal'Cie? You're not... That's insane!
Probably. But I gotta do something, right? I'll be back.
Well, I have to say I have a lot of respect for that concept, but...
Should we wait around for him? And hitch a ride?
I'd rather go to Pulse. Why is this happening to me? When they found the fal'Cie the other day, we were just visiting Bodum. But the army took us, threw us on that train. And because of that guy, Mom is...
Probably shouldn't leave them alone.
Oh, okay, so he didn't hear.
He wants to
Okay.
help fal'Cie.
Hey again.
Hi.
Hey,
I love this.
let's go with him. You gotta talk to him, Hope. If you don't take this chance, you'll regret it forever.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go.
I wonder about this. I feel like I have a lot of sympathy for Hope's situation and his viewpoint, but I think it's his voice actor. He just comes off as
What's gotten into you, soldier?
petulant. I don't
Thought you
know.
came for a fight.
I think it's not his
My
fault.
sister.
I don't think. He's 14,
sister.
right?
She's
So,
a
you know.
LaCie.
What? A pulse, Lassie?
Uh-oh. Sazh knows more about this
The
as
fal'Cie
well.
has her captive. But I'll find her.
Seems well informed.
Is she still... Hey, what was her focus? When she became a Lassie, what did the fal'Cie order her to do? It wasn't blow up Cocoon or anything like that, was it?
I didn't ask.
That's a sore spot. And here we have more Sazh.
Listen to me. When a person gets cursed by a fal'Cie, they become a Lassie. And they get given a focus, right? How do I put this? If they don't carry it out, Lassie end up as one of those things.
Huh.
What I'm saying is, if your sister's gone that far, I mean, she might still... How can I...
Sazh's got the same problem I do right now. Lost for words on defining words.
Even if she completes her focus, there's no changing her fate. She'll live her life as a fal'Cie slave.
Alrighty. Dropping some truth bombs
Don't
on
make
us
her
here.
suffer.
Just say it! Any LaCie. Anyone who might ever become a LaCie should be wiped off the face of Cocoon. It's people like you that started the Purge in the first place.
I'm not so sure about that. I think Sazh is a different viewpoint than you think. See, so this is what I was talking about earlier about the way that the story is being presented to us. The details come up as they're relevant. So right there, don't look at it as, oh, Sazh is telling us what a Xīth is and why they're like that. He's not just basically repeating what Vanille did. He's, narratively speaking, he's just expanding on what Vanille said in the previous scene. But if we look at it in terms of what the character's motivation is, and not the narrative focus here, then I would look at it as Sazh is very curious about Lightning's sister and her focus for some other reason. He has some other motive for wanting to know about this, and for wanting to talk about this. And we don't know what that is yet, but I get the feeling that as the game progresses, we will. Now, obviously, I know the details, I know why, but I'm not going to say it so far just in case, you know, this is your first time maybe experiencing this game. I don't want to do spoilers. And for the most part, to be honest, I think I've mentioned this before, I've forgotten a lot of small details. So, I guess, in order to take this story for what it is, in order to get the proper enjoyment out of it, I think, we need to not look at it as a narrative device and more about, how to phrase this. It's like, instead of wondering at the motive of having two characters basically repeat the same information in two scenes, because narratively speaking, maybe that wasn't the best method of doing it, right? But if we look at it from another perspective, and that is, well, they both said this. They're both interested in this. They both have a reason to bring it up. Then that adds a little bit of more depth to the whole idea, right? It adds a certain level of intrigue, I guess, to these characters' motivations. So instead of questioning their motive, just take it at face value and decide, okay, well, if we take this as truth, if we take this for what it is, then what does that mean? So instead of going, well, they shouldn't have repeated the same information twice, we think, well, why would they both be interested in this? Why would they both be focused on this? And you know, maybe those of you who are watching this, maybe you're not like the internet at large that I seem to have come across. Maybe you don't think that way at all. Maybe I'm just defending a point that doesn't need to be defended. But either way, this is my perspective on certain viewpoints that I've heard about the game and the way that it's presented. For the most part, a lot of the things that I've heard is, you know, very linear, which I can admit, yes. Another one that I've heard a lot, though, is that the characters aren't likable, and the only thing I can think of is it's that they might seem repetitive, in those scenes, for example, of explaining what a Sazh is or what a l'Cie is supposed to do. And then also, it could also be just the fact that, well, maybe they are annoying to different people. There's a lot of angst going on around here, to use the popular phrase. You know, Lightning's got her baggage, and Sazh has his, and Hope definitely has his. Everybody's got this angst going on about them right now. Well, of course they do. It's a war. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. In any case, let's not talk about negativity and all that. I have a tendency to do that. So if you ever catch me doing that, where I'm just like naysaying the internet in general because they disagree with me, if you ever catch me doing that in a video, let me know. It's just a tendency that I have. I think I'm pessimistic, coupled with masochistic. And so I seem focused on when the internet doesn't agree with me, because I think that's something that a lot of us do. But I don't mean to. It's not my intention, so call me out on it if you ever notice. So what we've got here is both... Well, okay, I said I wasn't going to do spoilers, and I won't. So I'm not going to go into the point that I was about to make. We'll find out later on. But we have two major plot threads going on at this point, because of course Snow has caught up to Vanille and Hope, so they're all part of one thing at this point. I'm trying to avoid... Let's see if we can't avoid these guys, because again, they don't give us experience points or anything at this point. So they're not technically worth fighting. But, so we've got two plot threads. We've got Lightning and Sazh, who are going after Lightning's sister, and then we have Snow, who's going after his wife. And then Hope and Vanille are following along with Snow, primarily so that Hope can finally talk to Snow about his perception of Snow's guilt. Now, you gotta wonder about that, like, is it honestly fair to say that it's Snow's fault that Hope's mother died? It's not. It was her choice. She decided to fight, and so that's how it went down. But at the same time, he's 14 years old, so maybe... I mean, it's not even a maybe, it's just definite. He doesn't have that perspective. He doesn't have the broadened viewpoint to acknowledge that, you know, my mother made her own decision, and it was a tragic accident. He looks at it as, that guy was there when Mom died, and he didn't save her, thus it is his fault. Plus, add on to the fact that if not for him, she wouldn't have volunteered to fight. But of course, who is to blame for that? Well, aside from Hope's mom herself, and I'm not using the term blame like she shouldn't have done that, because I don't know her perspective, I don't know what she was thinking when she made that choice. Honestly, it's the army. It's SciComm, it's the government involved in Cocoon here. If we're going to lay the blame on anybody, it's those that presented the situation in the first place. You could also say on some level that it's the fault of Nora as a group, and so Snow would be responsible. But consider that this purge that's going on had nothing to do with Nora. At least as far as I've seen so far. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I missed a detail somewhere. But it seems like this purge part, this whole mass exodus to Pulse, it's what do you want to call that? It's a... not an imperative, but it's the goal of the government. I guess I'll use the word goal.
Sarah!
Oh, hey. Look at that. Lightning Sister and Snow's wife are the same person.
Leave before the army.
That's convenient.
What?
That's a post brand. That girl's a LaCie.
Well, yeah, we know that.
I already told you that.
Yeah.
Post LaCie are the enemies of Cocoon.
So they should die?
Listen, if she fails her focus, you know how that'll end.
And killing her is a mercy? You came.
Not sure what to make of Sazh there. But here we go. Everybody's together.
Sarah.
Is that my hero?
No wonder he's so hung up on that word. Aww.
Let's get you out of here.
Hands off. I'm taking her home.
Uh-oh.
Sis.
I'm not your sister. You couldn't protect her. It's your fault she can save us. Sarah? You can save us. Protect us all. Save Cocoon. Save Cocoon? Sarah, that was your focus?
Anything. I'll do anything. Leave it to me, you'll see. I'll protect Cocoon. I'll save everyone.
Somehow, I'll make things right.
You just relax.
Thank you.
What? Whoa.
Sarah!
Sarah! Sarah!
Why is she turning to crystal?
LaCie who fulfill their focus are transformed into crystal and gain eternal life.
Just like the stories say.
Sarah, sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams? She's not sleeping! Sarah's... she's...
She's alive.
No.
The legend. Remember the legend. LaCie who fulfilled their focus turn to crystal and gain eternal life. It's the same with Sarah. Eternal life. She's not dead.
Okay.
Sarah's my bride-to-be. I promise to be hers forever. I don't care how many years I have to wait.
It's over! Open your eyes and face reality!
Sarah,
I don't
does
think he can do
becoming a
that.
LaCie really mean losing everything?
Oh boy. That's a good question.
The target is almost in place. Surface team, what is your status? Good to go. Resistance is under control. The assault proceeds as planned. Leave no trace. The pulse vestige never existed.
So it looks like we have a genocidal operation at this point. I'm not sure what the pulse vestige is at this point, but that kind of order, you can only mean one thing, really. It looks like our heroes are fucked. Okay, so we basically saw both sides of a LaCie and their eventual goal here. So of course the question now becomes, if that's the focus of the first leg of the game, right? The first major part of the story. What role will they have going forward? Because, of course, this game is a long-standing. It takes a long time to finish. So we're dealing with a very big situation here. There's a lot more that we're going to see. Hope latches on very easily to people, doesn't he? Sorry for talking over the cutscene there, but I figure with some of these episodes, if I don't talk over the cutscenes, I won't get a chance to talk. In which case, well, you probably do better to just, watch a movie version.
Where you going?
The trench coat.
Day with the fal'Cie. Got some things to talk about.
What? You gonna ask it to help her? Are you out of your mind, kid? That thing wants to chew us up and spit us out.
Well, what do you want me to do?
What?
Huh.
Lightning?
Here we go.
This has the markings of a very interesting ensemble cast, I think. So, here we go. Back in control. And, oh, okay, so we still have a full party. Alright. Lightning, Snow, and Sazh. So, what I was saying before, yeah, again, if it's a cutscene heavy episode and I don't talk, through cutscenes at all, then it'll be a full episode of just video footage, which somewhat defeats the purpose of a Let's Play in general, at least as far as I've been able to tell. So hopefully you don't mind that too much. I'll try and avoid it, especially when it's like an emotionally impactful moment. The big moment of that cutscene was Sarah turning into Crystal, hopefully not the army showing up and causing trouble, because that's what armies tend to do in games like this. But anyway, if there's any sort of preferential idea that any of you have, please let me know. I'll change up based on what I hear. But for now, we have a lot here to kind of digest. But for the most part, there's really not much to talk about. It's a pretty simple idea here. Whatever these fal'Cie things are, they are going to be a focal point. And we'll probably see more about that as everything goes on. But for now, basically what we have is all the characters are now in the same place. And that's an important narrative structure part, especially in something like this where there is a big group of people. We have them all in the same place at the same time. And they have now they've all met each other, and they're all together, and they're all presented with the same threat. In this case being the army. So that's probably, like, the main focal point of this plot point, and why, like, for example, Lightning and Snow are now effectively related, and we didn't see it before because they had differing goals, but now they're together, along with everybody else, so. With that, I think I'm going to save real quick, because we're right here next to a save point. We're going to end the video here, and next time we'll see how this conflict resolves itself. So, I'll see you then. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you for the next one. Alrighty, bye-bye.